Hello everybody, my name is Ludmila and it's time for a new lesson of English. To start with, I prepared for you a saying of Tim Berners-Lee, an inventor of the World Wide Web. There was a time when people felt the internet was another world, but now people realize it's a tool that we use in this world. And now a question. How do you think? What is the topic of our today's lesson? Okay, internet, not really. Not only the internet. Yes, our lesson is about new technologies, digital technologies. By the end of our lesson, you will be able to tell about digital technologies using new vocabulary and write about future using proper grammar structures. So, first of all, let's refresh our vocabulary. Pay your attention to the screen. There are several words connected with digital technologies.
Digital TV.
Repeat, please. Digital TV. Okay.
Laptop.
Laptop.
DVD player.
DVD player.
Mobile phone.
Mobile phone.
MP3 player.
MP3 player.
Robot helpers.
Robot helpers. By the way, do you know what is robot helpers? When you don't want to vacuum clean your room, you can use robot helper.
Digital camera.
Digital camera.
Satellites.
Satellites.
CCTV cameras.
CCTV cameras or surveillance cameras, you know these words.
Games console.
Games console. Good. You did it well. But now I want you to use these words with phrases to make sentences. For example, we use a digital TV to watch TV programs. Please think a bit and make up your own sentences. I will help you a bit and show you the examples, please. We use a laptop to surf the net and send emails. We use a DVD player to watch films. We use a robot helper to do the housework. We use CCTV cameras to make our street safe. So you see the examples. Please write down your own variants. So move on. Look on the screen. You see here two pictures. I want you to compare them in terms of how these people are communicating. Look at this picture. People are communicating in an old-fashioned way. They write letters. The postman is bringing a letter. Somebody is sending a message by telegraph. And when we turn to this one, we see the difference. There are modern ways of communication here. A person is speaking on the mobile phone, a person with a laptop using the internet, a person sending messages, satellite connections, and so on and so forth. So the difference is that we have old-fashioned ways of communication and modern ways of communication. Next, we come to reading and listening to a text. This text will be about difference in technologies, and you should answer the question, what does digital divide mean? Do you remember what is divide? To separate people, and digital, you know this. So think now. Can you answer the question, what is the digital divide? Well, listen and find out. Okay, please listen to the tape and follow the text.
Digital divide. What are you going to do today? Perhaps you'll email your friends, watch a DVD, or listen to your MP3 player. It's likely that sometime soon you're going to surf the net. Today we take new technology for granted, so you may be surprised to learn that 50% of the people in the world have still never even used a telephone. There is a huge gap between those who have access to new technology and those who don't. It is called the digital divide. The truth is that fewer than 17% of the people in the world can actually use the internet. To go online, you need a computer, the right software, a phone line, a modem, and a subscription to an internet service provider. These aren't cheap, and a lot of people, especially in poor countries, just can't afford them. Then there's the language barrier. 4/5 of all websites are in English, and many people around the world cannot even read or write in their own language, let alone a foreign language. If people can't read, it will be hard to teach them how to use a computer. The technology gap also exists simply because many people do not understand how technology can help them. They have an old-fashioned way of thinking and cannot imagine the difference technology will make to their lives. Education is the key. Governments, IT industries, and educational institutions should work together to educate people and train them, and at the same time, introduce local languages into computer usage. When we bridge the digital divide, then everyone will have equal opportunities and the power that technology brings. Facts. Only 3.6% of nearly 1 billion people in Africa have internet access. 0.1% of these have broadband. Almost 70% of the people in North America have internet access. Africa, parts of Asia, South America, and the Middle East are the least connected. 77% of the world's population has access to a mobile phone network. 56.5% of the world's population live in Asia, but only 10% of them have internet access.
Okay, you listened carefully, and now can you answer the question, what is the digital divide? Okay, right you are. Digital divide. It's the gap between those who have access to new technology and those who don't. And we call it digital divide. By the way, pay attention to percents represented in the text. 3.6, 0.1, 77%, 56.5, 10%. Are you through? I think yes. And now, let's start working with the text. I ask you to ask and answer the questions on the text. Are you ready? Please. There are examples. How many people have never used a telephone? Remember about percents? 50% of the people in the world. How many people can use the internet? Fewer than 17% of the people in the world. You have the example, and you may continue this work at home. I hope everything will be okay. The next one, we should summarize the text. We have a word list with the phrases from the text. First of all, you should understand all of them, and I hope you do, but there are several expressions we need to explain. For example, what does it mean to take new technology for granted? It means that you don't value the benefit of new technology. What is a huge gap? It's a big difference. Speaking about use of the internet, go online, you know it, a phone line, a modem, what is the right software as appropriate computer programs. What is a subscription? Subscription as money you pay to receive a service. What does it mean can't afford? Not have enough money for something. If you have enough money, you can afford it. If you haven't, you can't afford it. What is a technology gap? It's the difference between those who do and don't have access to new technology. And what does it mean to bridge the digital divide? It means to make the gap between those who have access to new technology and those who don't smaller. And the last one, equal opportunities. Equal opportunities means same chances. So, to tell the story, use please this word list. I'll show you how to do it. Today, many people take new technology for granted, but there is a huge gap between those who have access to new technology and those who haven't. To use the internet and go online, you need a computer, the right software, a phone line, a modem, a subscription to an internet provider. A lot of people can't afford it. There is also a language barrier existing. Most websites are in English. There is also a technology gap because many people have an old-fashioned way of thinking. Governments and educational institutions should work together to educate people and introduce local languages into computer using. When we bridge the digital divide, people will have equal opportunities and the power that information will give. Okay. When you read the text, you noticed that there are a lot of future forms in it. It's just natural because we speak about the future. That's why we use future forms will, to be going to, and present continuous for future. Let's remind the rules. The first thing, when we use will, I think to make it more interesting, we'll watch a small video.
I hope she'll make a great pianist one day.
We use will for predictions about the future. Predictions are based on what you think. I hope.
I really like this CD. I'll take it.
We use will for on-the-spot decisions. A girl sees the CD and she wants it. Will.
The temperature will reach 35 degrees Celsius tomorrow.
This example, we use will for actions or events that we cannot control. They don't depend on us.
James will be 4 years old next month.
The same situation we can't control. He will be 4 years old.
I promise I'll be back by 7 p.m.
For promises, the last use for promises. I will do it. Next, we come to be going to.
Will you help me with my maths homework?
Of course I'll help you.
Oh no, it's not going to, but will. For requests and offers, it's almost the same that promises.
Look at him. He's going to win the race.
And now, again, going to. It's a prediction, but based on what we see or know. We see that he's the first, and that's why he's going to win the race.
Look at him. He's going to fall.
It's also prediction based on what we see. We see that a man is going to fall.
I'm going to be a famous footballer one day.
future plans and intentions for going to. He doesn't know when, but one day he's going to be a famous footballer.
Now that he's got the money, he's going to buy a motorcycle.
Again, intentions. Boy has money, and that's why he can buy a motorcycle. He plans to do that.
They're moving into their new house next week.
Pay attention. It's not going to. It's present continuous. We use it for fixed arrangements in the near future. They have bought this house. That's why they are moving there.
They're flying to Frankfurt in an hour.
It's also a fixed arrangement. They're in the airport. They are going through the customs, so they're flying to Frankfurt in an hour. Okay, and now look at our text. There are examples of all these rules. What are you going to do today? It's a future plan or intention. Perhaps you email your friends. It's a prediction based on what we think or imagine. You are going to surf the net. So it's a future plan or intention again. It will be hard to teach them. It's a prediction based on our thoughts. Everyone will have equal opportunities. It's again a prediction made because we based on what we imagine. Good. And now we shall have a little practice, because all these rules don't work without practice. Now, we have a prediction by Brad about our future. You should fill in the gaps with will or its negative form, won't. I'm sure that you remember that the contracted form of will not is won't. Okay, let's start. I believe we have flying cars. We'll have, of course. And we be able to fly around the cities? Of course we will. Sure. With flying cars, there be any traffic jams? Will there be? No, won't be. I also think that there be any petrol left. Will be any petrol left? No, won't be any petrol left. So we will use another fuel, alternative kinds of fuel that cause pollution. This fuel won't cause pollution. It be better for the planet. Sure, it will be better for the planet. Good. We have a nice prediction. This prediction will be a model for you to write your own one, but a little later on. The next exercise, where to be going to. We have verbs have, visit, play, write, send, meet, buy, and time markers. Next week, tonight, this weekend, when I finish school, in 10 years. You should combine them and make sentences like this. I'm going to buy a new computer next week. I'm not going to send my friend an email tonight. Do please now have several minutes to do this exercise. If you watch us on YouTube, please stop the recording and do this exercise. And of course, I'll give you the examples. I'm going to play football tonight. I'm not going to visit a museum next week. I'm going to have a party tonight. I'm not going to meet my friends this weekend. I'm going to buy a car when I finish school. Your variants, please. Okay, we have one more structure to use. It's present continuous. All the same that we're going to, but it's a fixed arrangement when you are sure you will do that. Again, the same verbs, but a bit another form. Are you meeting your friends this weekend? Yes, I am, if you are going to meet them. And no, I am not, if you haven't got an arrangement. Here we have the examples. Are you playing football this weekend? Yes, I am. Or negative. No, I'm not. Are you visiting a museum this weekend? Yes, I am. Or no, I'm not. Are you having a party this weekend? Yes, I am. No, I am not. Please write down your own variants. And now we have a very nice exercise where you should distinguish between will or to be going to. So don't forget that if you have an on-the-spot decision, if you have prediction based on your own thoughts, if you have a promise, it will be will. And if you have plans or intentions or predictions made based on what you see and what you know, this will be to be going to. Let's try. I think I email my friend tonight. I think it's based on your own thoughts, so it's will. Now that I've got the money, I buy a new MP3 player. It's your intention. You've got money. You can do this. I'm going to. The next sentence. I don't know how to search online. I show you. It's on-the-spot decision. That's why I will show you. Be careful. You lose your files. It's a prediction based on what you see. Be careful. That's why you are going to lose your files. Did you see Peter's email? Yes, I answer him later. It's a promise. That's why we use will. Okay, we worked hard today, and I think that after our practical exercises, hand-on approach, you are able to use these structures without any mistakes. So you have worked hard and you've done a lot of exercises, and I hope that you know everything about the use of future structures. And your home task will show us if it's true. Your home task is to write a small piece of writing about what new technology we will have in 80 years' time. You can use Brad's text as a model and write your own using will, be going to, and future continuous. I will give you one more model. For example, I believe we will have underground cities and we will all live below the sea. The atmosphere will be too polluted above ground, but we will have big machines to provide air for us to breathe. There won't be many animals or plants left, but while we live underground, the earth will repair itself. A bit pessimistic, of course, but I'm sure that you will write very nice, optimistic pieces of writing. I am waiting for your answers. So our lesson is over, and now you can tell about digital technologies using the word list and write predictions about the future using proper grammar structures. See you next week.